Okay, there we go. News and updates. Basically, for the other channel, I started a video about the conspiracy craziness over soy protein. There will be follow-up videos on that. There'll be more videos soon, hopefully, fingers crossed, because I'm getting some time off from my day job. Just booking 2 weeks off. Hopefully it gets authorised the beginning of June and the end of June and a week in July as well. Anyway, furthermore, I'll be following up technology articles on exploratory mines as well on our main blog. I want to talk a little bit about opening up in the UK. We've had public bars open if you've got like an outside where people can sit down. We've had that for some time. People are allowed to do that. This week, since Monday, we are now allowed to go indoors, wear a mask until you sit down. Nobody at the bar, if it's a public bar, nobody stood at the bar. You wait and be served, things like that, and that's how we did it during coming out of the first wave, and it worked. It made a lot of sense until we had a new variant. This is a problem with new variants. It's possible, although I think unlikely. But I'm not an expert, I'm not a virologist, but as a layman I think it's possible, but unlikely, that we end up with escape immunity, meaning that the variants will escape the immunity that is coming out of the vaccines. Although there's increasing confidence that the vaccines combat the Indian variant. The problem we're here primarily is not only an education problem, it's a cultural problem, a combination of two. I mean, in India, the public cleanliness in parts of India is not a thing. Indian people have done, I forgot his name. Some guy went on a TED talk in front of an audience talking about the rebellious nature of some of the Indian culture, not putting waste in a waste bin. The waste bins are empty, and the streets are actually disgustingly trawled with junk everywhere, and is not hygienic. Ritual bathing as well help proliferate this, I'm pretty sure. The water is dirty and people going half naked into water close together, not wearing a mask and having the ritual bathing, and frankly it's disgusting, but the underlying the word ritual, and it's like a cultural religious thing or whichever, and human nature loves to practice its practices, but without caring too much about the consequences. But when the science is out there, it's just, I don't know what the answer would be, but we see addiction to consumerism and entertainment in America as well. We've talked about a number of times, is part of this problem as well. That addiction has eroded and corroded and destroyed a lot of care and passion of actual education, and why the education on things like this is crucial for human survival. The most annoying thing about anti-vaxxers, for instance, is not that so much that they could catch the virus and die from it, it's that they are helping to proliferate variants. right? Which could possibly escape. Even the experts say that could be a possibility. Escape immunity because you get some of the variants causing vaccines that were like 80%, they drop into like 70% efficacy, things like that. This is why we're going to end up having to live with this for a long time. Next 5 years or more, perhaps, with booster injections, I'm pretty sure. Um, it's funny how the anti-vaxxers don't talk about, oh, I don't like needles. Are they trying to cover, you know, are they really afraid of needles? And the conspiracy on that there's a microchip in it is just stupid. You're walking around with a mobile phone that, if you got it enabled, has GPS. Google is Android is a Google product, and Google in its earliest days was seed funded by the CIA and the NSA, by the way. There was a competition to be the all and end all sort of search engine for the internet, a big library of information. Of course, it never quite worked out because there's the multiple search engines. There's Yahoo, there's DuckDuckGo, there's loads out there. Every company out there is big enough, got a finger in each pie. It's crazy. It really is. The same with the conspiracy nutters don't look at statistics, measurements, the who, what, why, when, and where. I've always talked about. And the problem there again, on the other channel, I talked about the soy conspiracy. There'll be more videos on the actual nutritions and the phytoestrogens, all these different things, what it does, how it interacts in the body as a layman, as I can understand it. I'll do some more work on that eventually sometime. Part 2 video, right? For instance, soy milk. The conspiracy nutters who would talk about soy milk, and they say it in a way that this is bad for you, it causes this, it causes that. At what amount, at what measurement, and how long for, how often? Now, they don't give you that data because they don't know. They don't even bother to look at peer-reviewed science papers on this. And it's problematic because, that kind of attitude is hugely problematic. Because there are legit things to look at scientifically and that people completely ignore and pigeonhole as, oh, that's conspiracy nutty territory, because there's so many nutters involved with subject matter that is neither here or there. It's a big problem. People who turn vegan are actually slated. Oh, you're one of those, are you? A pigeonhole, by arrogant and ignorant people who are part of the problem, as well as the conspiracy crazies as well. Yeah. Pigeonholing vegan crowd as crazy animal rights activists, that's it. And there are crazy ones. So I used to work, apart from the paper round, my first job was an egg packing station. The factory wasn't cruel to chickens, although some of the farms were, but the factory was just packing eggs. But the activists got so problematic. There was a case where they'd send envelopes to, like parcel envelopes to the station, the factory, and there'd be a mousetrap sat inside the envelope. Put your hand in and snap, and regardless of them educating themselves. And I do not agree with battery chickens. These chickens are placed inside a small box, a hen, I don't know what you call it, like tiny fence around the chicken, and next door to it would be the same thing with another chicken and so on, and it's horrendous. They eat the food in front of them, and they shit into a pit underneath. That is used for the farm or fertilizer or whatever. Utterly disgusting. And there's free range, or there's chickens allowed to run free, and the difference is phenomenal. But then, vegans make, I think some of the vegan crowd are making a good argument, actually, on different, getting rid of the extremes in farming, stop farming too much cattle and other things, because it's part of the problem of aggravating the environment and the climate and so on. I've looked at some of that, and it's interesting, actually. But again, in between, you're going to get individuals who are so active they focus on problems rather than solutions, like sending mouse traps in parcels to factories. That was many years ago. It's even worse now in some cases. Education of facts and connecting the dots between data sets is crucial. Reacting emotionally is not the answer. That's it. Kind of that in a nutshell for now. What's something else? Oh, points. User points are actually reintroduced. Sorry, I stutter sometimes. Reintroduced at exploratorymines.com. What these are, I've got a number of ideas for them. But basically, the more you post, the higher your points are going to go up. And the first things like, update your avatar and post a banner, even that goes towards points. Different points for each thing. I've got some ideas. I want to brainstorm like some kind of reward for that. I don't want it to be like other platforms. Oh, look how many points they got. Could because they've posted loads of data or lots of data doesn't mean that you posted quality information. So there'll be a exception. If you've got a certain amount of points and our analysis of what you've posted is quality, there'll be some kind of reward in that, hopefully. It's small enough crowd at the moment to be able to do that, and it's very quiet. People come and go now and then and post and say hi and haven't checked out the site for a while, and there's a bit of conversation, slow conversation going on in the live public chat that is on the live feed. So it's slow go at the moment, but if you're interested in my efforts, what I'm trying to do here, comment, rate and subscribe, and perhaps join the website. There's no cost to join the website, despite the fact that it diverts you to exploratorymines.com/premium. Don't let that put you off. It's just the folder that is in the installation. There were reasons for that. It was cost originally, just a one-off payment, but nobody really wants to pay just to join a website. So there's a number of things I'm learning here and there that we brainstormed as we go. I really do believe that platforms should reward people for their good content more, but that means I might be a bit biased and say, oh, I like this, not like that. To try and be not too biased, we have a criteria: does your data back itself up, basically? Even if it's a subject that I hate, if it backs itself up coherently and enough, with enough claims and source your data and sources and here and there, all these different rules, then why not? You deserve some kind of shout out for actual research efforts. There's this crowd out there that boast the title research, and all they're doing is saying, see, I told you I was right, because there it is on Google, or there it is on this other site. And why they wouldn't be saying it if I was wrong? That kind of attitude. And it's just cherry picking, really. It's just cherry picking, looking for a narrative to suit your emotional narrative, just enforcing things. We see a lot of that bias, intellectual dishonesty as well. We see a lot of that over the internet, and try to avoid that and move away from that. Actual research is difficult, and it's called research for a reason. If you search for something, you find it and you think, oh, that seems in line with what I'm claiming, you then research what you've searched. So is there names of people in there involved with your subject matter? You go and search up them. The names, the dates, the times, the who's, the whys, whens, and so on. That's research to some degree. And then there's also, if there's any opportunity to do any experiments yourself at home over some theory on something in physics maybe, or whatever it might be, go ahead and do it. That's research as well, Am I an expert in research? No. Nobody is. But those who claim, boasting that they are researchers, are not researching. Those who are quiet and try and buckle down and look to see what if, and are humble of could they be right, and invite debate, they're researchers, but they're not cocky and boasting about it. I've said it time and time again. Beware of those cocky boasters, those boasters of we are this, we are that. I don't know if exploratory minds will be a great thing long term, or just a quiet thing long term that's people might get involved here and there with and enjoy, but wherever it explodes to a really big thing or whatever, I'm not going to sit here and claim it's going to, because of some egocentric reasons. I'm here humble enough to try and do something here to see if it works, but I think the problem is, across the internet, too many of us, whether you're a content creator or you own the website for content creators, there's too much focus on problem rather than solution. Look at Facebook, it censors many things here and there, but it doesn't reward quality data. But then how do you do that with a massive user base? You might lose some money there trying to get around that, employing actual human beings to look for that. Will AI ever be able to be smart enough to discern quality? I doubt it, not at this rate. Of course, that's a debate to be had as well on AI. Is it a good thing or a bad thing or whatever? Yeah. Algorithms and bots and all that I've talked about before. That's it in a nutshell for this video blog. I think I'll be popping out today, just waiting on a message from Jerry, who helps with the website, either today or tomorrow. Meet up somewhere and talk about the site and sort of brainstorm some things Peace out, you take care, and I'll look forward to doing another video soon, as usual. Cheers, bye.